Hello again. Today we're covering 6.2, which is the power rule. It's a power to a power and geometric applications where you're going to see this used with shapes. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about what the power rule is. Okay, it's when you raise a monomial to a power. So it's going to look like this: x to the a to the b, which means the way you actually solve that is you do x to the a times b. You multiply the exponents, okay? So when it's a power raised to a power, you multiply, I'm having trouble with spelling, multiply the exponents. Okay, so let's see why that works and examples of using it. Okay, so I have x squared to the fifth. That means I've got x squared times x squared times x squared times x squared times x squared. That's 5 of them, correct. So that means I've got x times 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 x. 1, 2, there's that one, 1, 2, that one, 1, 2, that one, 1, 2, that one, 1, 2, that one. Okay, so now how many do I have altogether? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So therefore, this is x to the 10th if I use the expanded form. Okay, this is using expanded form where we write it out and see why does this rule work. Okay, now with the rule, that means I'm just doing x to the 2 times 5, which gives me x to the 10th. And you notice you get both the same answer. Okay. All right. Let's work another one. Okay. Jumping to number 3. I can do this with multiple variables. Okay. So, well, right now the exponent that's understood to be on the 1, on the c is a 1. So therefore, this would be c to the 1 times 3 times d to the 2 times 3. So therefore, my answer is c to the 3rd, d to the 6th. You have to be careful and make sure you don't add the exponents when you're supposed to be multiplying them. Okay. Moving right along, now we're going to look at ones with coefficients. That means the numbers in front of the variable. So you have to raise the coefficient to the given power, and then we simplify the variables with the power rule. Okay, so that means here I'm going to have 5 squared. Oops, I'm not wanting to work this problem. I'm wanting to jump to number 7. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is meaning I'm going to have -4 to the 4th power. Then I'm going to have c to the 3 times 4 and d to the 4 times 4. Okay, now of course you remember that -4 to the 4th means it's -4 times -4 times -4 times -4, which means that's going to be a positive 16 times a positive 16 if you write this out, which means we have, ooh, can't see my screen too well. I need to change the darkness on this. Make this better. There, that's more tolerable. So that means I have 16 times 16, which is 256, or I can teach you the steps for using it in the calculator to calculate. Okay, we want -4, so that means I have to put it in parentheses. So I'm going to press open parentheses and then the negative button, which is down here, -4 close parentheses, and then what I call the rooftop or the caret button, this one that does the little rooftop, the up, that raises it to the exponent, and then I need a 4 for the 4th power. And then we press enter, and it gives me my answer, since we do get to use the calculator. But I want to make sure that you understand this is what is happening when we do that. So we have 256 c to the 12th d to the 16th. This is the final answer. Okay, here we go. We're just going to blow and go through some examples here, okay? All right, we're working number 9, 1/2 raised to the 3rd. Then we have a to the 3 times 3, b to the 4 times 3, c to the 5 times 3. Well, first thing I have to pay attention to is this 1/2 to the 3rd. Remember, that means it's 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2, which 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. So this is going to be 1/8 a to the 9th, b to the 12th, c to the 15th as my final answer. Again, pause and re-listen if you have questions. Here we go. Jumping down to where this is a mixed practice of the rule we learned today and the rule we learned in 6-1. Okay, we're looking at number 13. Okay, I've got to simplify each factor first. So I'm going to simplify this, and then we multiply them together. So I'm going to have 6 to the 3rd, a to the 2 times 3, b to the 1 times 3, times 1 to the 3rd squared times 8. Well, that's just going to be a to the 1 times 2, b to the 1 times 2, c to the 1 times 2. Okay, so we end up with 6 to the 3rd. That's going to be 216 a to the 6th, b to the 3rd, times 1/9 a squared, b squared, c squared. And then that's going to give me 216 divided by 9, because remember, I'm multiplying these two together. Well, that green's not the best color to use. Well, hopefully it's okay. And then we have a to the 6 plus 2. We're doing 6 plus 2. B to the 3 plus 2. C to the, oh, there's nothing else to add for the C, because this one doesn't have a C, so I just rewrite it. It's C squared. And now for the final answer. 216 divided by 9, that's going to give me 24. A to the 8th, B to the 5th, C squared. There is my final answer. And you may get to the point where you can figure things out and go straight from here to here. Okay, but you definitely want to make sure that you write out this step, because it's changing from multiplication to addition. Ideally, I would just write all the steps so that you make sure you get it correct and don't get it confused. All right, here we go. Last example for this page, 15. Okay, so I've got to do this and this. And so I've got 3 to the 4th, which in my calculator, I can do 3 raised to the 4th, enter, so that's 81. So I'm going to have 81 x to the 12th, y to the 4th. This is cutting out the middle step. Now I've got to multiply this. So that's going to be minus, this is a 1, so this is 7. I'm adding these two exponents now. So this is going to be x to the 7th, y to the 4th. Oh, no. Oh, I missed something. This is raised. This is where you got to be careful. There's a power to a power here. This is raised to a power. I have to do that before I can do that multiplication. So this is going to be minus 49 x to the 10th y squared times x squared y squared. So now I have to simplify this, which is now going to have 81 x to the 12th y to the 4th. I just bring this down. That's going to be minus 49. That's 10 plus 2, which gives me x to the 12th, y to the 2 plus y is y squared. So this is 2 plus 2, which is y to the 4th. And now we have like a variable situation, so I can do the subtraction of 81 minus 49, which is 32 x squared y to the 4th. Okay, here we go. Next page now. Boy, that green really does go away, doesn't it? When I've got some form of a shadow. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, here we go. Next page. This is where we're looking at the geometry application. Okay. So we've got to remember our geometry rules. So we're going to look at number 18. Now, it doesn't tell you, but you should assume with this, this is an equilateral triangle, which means all of these have the same measure of side as 20 m to the 3rd into the 5th. Now, it's wanting me to find the perimeter and the area, okay? So that means for 18 to find the perimeter, that means I'm doing 3 times 20 m to the 3rd into the 5th, which that's going to equal 60 m to the 3rd into the 5th is my perimeter. That one was quite simple. Now, we're looking at the area. So for the triangle, we've got to remember that that is 1/2 base times height. So that means this is my base, this is my height. So I have 1/2 times 20 m to the 3rd that's my husband. He's working from home too right now. N to the 5th. Close parentheses, and we multiply times 4 m n to the 5th. And now we just start simplifying. Well, half of 20 is 10. So I have 10 m to the 3rd n to the 5th, and 4 m n to the 5th. Now we take in our multiply our coefficients, and then we add the exponents. So we have 40 m, 3 plus this 1 to the 4th, 5 plus 5 n to the 10th. So our area is 40 m to the 4th n to the 10th. Okay. For 19, just to help you out here, we're just finding the area. This formula is 1/2 height times b1 plus b2 because this is a trapezoid. Now let's move on to the circle. So the circle for this, the formula is pi r squared. So that means I have pi times 3xy to the 3rd squared. Okay, so that means I'm going to have pi times 3 squared x squared y to the 3 times 2. So that's going to give me 3 squared is 9. You always write the number first. So it's going to be 9 pi, then the pi symbol, x squared y to the 6th. This is your final answer. Remember, pause and repeat if you have any questions. Thank you. Have a great day.